Welcome to the channel for the first time ever. My friend and yours, Mr. Jinsakuu. What's up, Jin?
Whoa!
What up? What up? How you doing?
Good, dude. How are you doing?
Well, I was enjoying my Superman era, right? We gotta hype that up. But then, I thought I was gonna take a break from Power Rangers, but here we are.
Bro, it's honestly so crazy because this all happened because you had tweeted out that infamous Dino Thunder tweet. There's a light in the distance.
Yeah. So let's get into that, right? Because people. So this is like what 3-4 days ago at this point, right?
Yeah, like Christmas Day, I think.
So it's honestly been a few weeks that we've had this information on the Power Ranger movie or whatnot, and like we were all trying to like figure out how to break this story because it's like one thing I didn't want was to have a reboot part 2 situation where like I say something too early and then like everyone goes, oh, here it is again, another Power Rangers reboot or like another like whatever the case is. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be smart. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm just going to hold on to it. And then I've been talking to some other people and we're like, oh yeah, we're going to like wait till we get a little more information. But then like we heard things were moving fast, like in terms of like getting, and they're like, listen, like Jen, if you're going to talk about this, you got to do it now because things are happening. And things happen. And then at first though, I will say I tweeted the Dino Thunder intro. There's a light in the distance, right? And that was my that was the quote for the tweet with the soon emoji. Now I was hinting at it, but no one caught on for some reason. Like everyone was like, oh yeah, I love this intro, I love Dino Thunder, whatever. And then like literally like soon as I made a follow-up tweet saying no one realized I was hinting at something, the news dropped. And I was like, okay, let's get into it. And it all just happened like so fast. And it was just kind of like, all right, we're doing this. Merry Christmas though. Like the timing couldn't have been more funnier, I'll say. Like,
yeah.
Like if it happened today, it's like one thing, but it happened on Christmas. I'm like, man, I gotta put in some work.
Dude, not only did it happen on Christmas, not only did it happen the same day that you posted that tweet, but I was also making fun of like you for the fact that no one what you were hinting at.
I was like, because normally if I'm posting like a Power Rangers intro like for engagement or like whatever the case is, I'm just going to say like, oh, Time Force had a banger and I'll just drop the video or something like that. I quoted, there's a light in the distance coming soon, and for some reason no one caught it. I think you caught it, Monty. You did catch it. I did. You did DM me. So yeah, you caught it. But yeah, no one caught it, which is kind of crazy. But I'm gonna do more of those though. I
just speak fluent Jin at this point.
Yeah. Like those of y'all who know me, I used to like early on, like 2020, 2021. I wouldn't like outright like give out scoops. I used to just like do dumb riddles or like post like GIFs or like photos hinting at stuff. But I've never like used to outright say what it's going to be. I was like, let me just have fun. And like, I don't know. I think the audience grown out of the Jin riddles, I think.
We're so over it. Ever since the show's been gone, we're so much more jaded.
No one's like remembers that was my thing. Everyone's like, oh, there's no way that's a riddle or it means anything.
Jin, you did mention that you were talking to a group of people in regards to like the Power Ranger information. Do you kind of want to explain what that group is? Because if not, I'm just going to ask you questions. If you can or can't answer anything, you just let me know.
Well, I acknowledge them as my super friends. That's what we call them.
Gotcha.
But it's just it's different, right? Like these aren't, and it's not necessarily like a Power Ranger group. Like I'm really the only one who even like gives a shit about Power Rangers, if anything. But like so we normally talk about movies, like we get Marvel, DC scoops and like other things. That's kind of their thing though. Like they go ahead and they drop leaks and scoops for that stuff. I kind of stay out of it. I kind of stick more towards, the Power Ranger fandom or whatnot, but they're my friends, so I'm really in the know of a lot of it. But once the Power Ranger thing kind of came to us like a few weeks ago, they all kind of looked at me and they were like, yo, Jen, like this is your thing right here. Like, I think you should break it. And I was kind of hesitant because I will admit, I've had my L with the whole reboot thing, right? And that was kind of something I didn't want to repeat. I didn't want to like announce something too early that like is whereas like you can go 5 or 6 years of hearing nothing, right? I just don't want to go through that again, and I just feel like you got to be smarter around certain things. But with all that being said, though, I've decided to. And shout out to Daniel. We've talked.
Daniel Richmond, DanielRPK.
Yeah,
For anyone
yeah.
who doesn't know.
If you ask me personally, I think he's the biggest scooper in the game when it comes to movies, Marvel and DC at the moment, and he seems to be, as of compared to everyone else, he's I would say the most reliable for the most part. I thought it was smarter taking a seat back and letting someone more reliable and more known information go ahead and let that, and then I can like kind of backpedal off that, because I think if we're talking unannounced like PR projects, yes, like I know a lot of people know me on Twitter, but I feel like I'm just personally not big enough yet for anything to make waves in that stratosphere, right? Like I can leak Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury all I want, but it's nothing compared to a movie, right? Or movie news. And I know like when it comes to like bigger outlets, like I don't know, like comicbook.com, Screen Rant, like other or just big pages in general, just posting like leaks and scoops. I wouldn't make that traction that will bring the attention to them. So I think it was smarter that Daniel dropped the story and that he kind of got that engagement. And then I can do my thing and elaborate on that and give more context and details to what's going on in that aspect. And then, moving forward, now I got something to write off and we can go from there. But if you want to dive into it, though, we can talk the business aspect on why this is a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just because, like you said, I just think it was really cool that you started and kind of explained like the scoop game a little bit, and how that works, and how it was kind of like a strategy that you guys were working on, and how you known about this for a while. Because I don't think that's something a lot of people are informed about.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I acknowledge, like I know, like, well, you know me, and me and you, Monty, we talked about a lot of like stuff off scene.
Yeah.
Like I give you a lot of like scoops behind the scene that came to happen, and like a lot of things that I don't even post, and like like, but you also see how other people feel about me from time to time. Like I do a lot of trolling, right? And not a lot of people are a fan of that. And I'm aware of that. Like, even like when I first started, like I would kind of just like do a lot of like funny tweets here and there. And I tried for the most part to make it obvious that they're trolls, but like, I can understand how people can like mix up my legit scoops and just my troll tweets in general, and I can be looked at as unreliable to a certain extent. So like I do get that, and I do. So like I definitely feel like to be smart, you kind of have to go about it a different way. I couldn't just come out and say like breaking news, a new Power Ranger movie, because then literally that tweet will have 60 quotes of that what's that Jimmy Neutron meme where it's like, this is the 7th time you've shown me that. Like,
I've actually seen that meme. Like that meme's going around. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, like how many times can you cry wolf? So you kind of just gotta, you just gotta move smarter. That's all. Like,
yeah. And I think that shows. It should show a lot of people like how much you've matured as a content creator, because me and you, we vibed since we first started talking, because I just got your sense of humor.
I will say, 2025, I do plan on starting the Superman hype train. So I will be covering some Superman comics, and I'll be doing some rewatches of the previous movies and stuff. So I'm going to be covering some Superman stuff. And I got my comic nerd Monty over here to help me pick the right
Yes,
comic.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we'll be riding that Superman hype train 2025. Don't worry.
Oh, 100%. 2024
worry.
was Madam Web. 2025 is Superman, baby. Let's go.
The Madam
Let's
Web hype
go.
train lasted 3 months, so
It
I
lasted
wouldn't
like a solid
necessarily
2 weeks.
I wouldn't necessarily dedicate the year to it.
But like I was saying, like it just, if anything, people should really see how much you've matured as a reporter, as a journalist, as a scooper. That when you were younger, obviously, when you were first, because you started doing Power Ranger scoops years and years ago, you were a younger person. We're all a little like more cavalier when we're younger. We liked, again, you were just trying to make a name for yourself. You're just trying to have fun on the internet. Whereas now you're like, you take this a lot more seriously. And I think people don't understand that. So I wanted you to come on, and I wanted to show people like, no, you're taking this seriously, and you're trying to handle this in a way that, because like you said, we do talk behind the scenes, and you have told me things that I have seen come true. Like a lot of things, like all of the Final Destination stuff you gave me, all came true. All of it came true, and it was 100% accurate. So I don't think people realize like how good your track record actually is, because you just really share a lot of Power Ranger stuff.
I kind of like dive really like into my interests. Like I said, like a lot of my scooper friends, I get information constantly on Marvel and DC and stuff, but I just choose not to like really get into it because like I know like my target audience is Power Rangers, like regardless. Like if I always get any Power Ranger news, I bring it to y'all, right? And that's what I choose to leak because I know like that's what y'all care about. I have interest in other things, but I just know like it's just really not worth it for me. So like I try to keep things Power Rangers for the most part, but like it's a hit or miss, right? Sometimes it's like, should I report on it? Should I not report on it? It's always like something that I think about just due to like the whole reboot situation. So it's just one of those things you kind of gotta figure out and work through.
Yeah, but again, it just really goes to show like you're doing good, and a lot of these
I appreciate you. You're doing great too.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, pal.
I've watched you grow.
Same. And you know what? I was so proud of you. I sent Jin a couple of articles today because I'm pressed, so I like to read a lot of like articles and stuff online. And all the Power Ranger articles were talking about him so highly that I had to send them to him like a proud friend. I said, look at this. Look at how they're talking about you. I'm so proud of you, bud.
Yeah.
But dude, let's get into it. Let's talk Power Rangers. So,
alrighty.
Questions a lot of people
spend my Friday night.
All right, well, we'll make it quick. Because I feel like you talked a lot about it already on your space. But a lot of what people really want to know is, how did this come about so quickly? Why is this happening so quickly? And where did Paramount come from?
Yeah. So, basically, long story short, I've stated that Paramount and Hasbro, they've been in meetings for a few months now, trying to like figure something out. But Paramount is what I'm hearing. They're aggressively trying to get Power Rangers as their next IP. Now, they got Sonic, Transformers, Paw Patrol, Mission Impossible, Ninja Turtles. They got quite a few things going on, and a lot of their franchises are starting to reach a quite number, right? You got Sonic on his 4th movie, Transformers on his 8th or 9th movie, Mission Impossible is coming to a close. So like they're definitely looking for a new IP, and Power Rangers just seems to work well with their agenda, and they've been talking to Hasbro about potentially, taking it off of their hands. But the issue that Hasbro is currently facing is they just haven't been making profit off of Power Rangers. Now, they bought the brand for like 500 mil, and they've been struggling to crack 100 mil in profits. Like they've lost so much money off that transaction to the point where they're like, listen, if we sell Power Rangers to you, like we have to profit. Like we will have to sell it for a really high price. Like understandable, of course. But Paramount and Hasbro have a good partnership to the point where they've been working to develop this film to make profit, right? And that's the whole idea behind this movie getting a theatrical release, and why it's even moving so fast, because they need to make profit off this brand, right? And with a Power Ranger movie, you could honestly, I'm not saying make $1 billion, right? But you can honestly make maybe a 200 mil, 300 mil profit off this movie if you play your cards right. And that's honestly good enough for them. All they want to do is, like, at the end of this, like, let's say once Hasbro officially like sells off the property, Hasbro is more happy saying, I lost 50 mil or I lost 70 mil off this than, oh, I lost 400 mil. You know what I mean? Like, or I lost whatever the case is. So before they sell it off, they do want to profit, but they do have a mutual respect for Paramount to the point where they can sell it at a price that Paramount is happy with, as long as this movie is profitable, right? So that's the idea behind Hasbro and Paramount. They came together, they came up with an idea. Let's make a Power Rangers movie, make some profit, put it in theaters, and you can take it over from there. And Hasbro at this point is just ready to wash their hands with the brand. No one at Hasbro really wants it, and it's just something that, just a long battle they've just been dealing with the past 7, 8 years or so. And yeah, the best scenario for all parties, this movie comes out, they make money and sell it to Paramount, let Paramount do what they want to do. Now, I know there are other reports stating animation shows and everything like that.
Yes.
But I think right now the main focus is just the movie. And if this movie does what it needs to do, then yes, Paramount want plans to continue to show itself through animation. But all that is ways off, and it's really a matter of how all this goes. Like, we're talking like, and one thing before I get into the release date, one thing they've been heavily acknowledging was the 2017 movie, how they felt like they have to look at that as the blueprint and kind of like where they went wrong and do it right this time around. And one of the things would be finding a better release date for it, right? Like no one like, this is like nothing that's news to anyone, but we know 2026 is packed with superhero movies, right?
Very highly anticipated
superhero movies. We're no strangers to the fact that we don't think Power Rangers is really going to be able to compete with any of them, and they have to really be smart about how they release this movie. Now, my sources suggested like maybe a late fall 2026. That's kind of what I've tweeted out. But me personally, I think it'll probably be smarter to maybe like lock down like a January date, like maybe like a January 2027. I'm thinking like your biggest competition would be like, I don't know, low budget horror movies, and maybe a Valentine's movie in February. But even February is kind of close to Sonic 4 coming out in spring. So I think January will honestly be like a really good like release window. You know, give it like 2 months in theaters, you know, collect what you can. I think that's probably the best route to go. But yeah, everything that you're hearing outside of this movie is ways off. Like, if this movie releases early 2027, late 2026, you won't really see anything on the show until after that, like 2028 or so. So I think right now the plan is just, you know, work on the movie, release it, and hope for the best. That's really the main reason we're even getting it in the first place, is a business strategy to transition to selling it to Paramount. And, you know, Hasbro just wants to make money before they let it go, so it's not a complete loss. And yeah, and that's just why they're choosing theaters for it and not some random streaming service to put it on.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know, does Paramount officially have like this deal in place, or is Hasbro still meeting with other people and they're just like heavily favoring Paramount?
So Paramount and Hasbro is definitely in talks, right? Like, for months, going back and forth on how to figure this out. But I wouldn't necessarily say Paramount really have anything on lock. I think they're listening to Paramount, and they're even willing to put a movie out just to make money to help Paramount even more, right? And give them a price they're willing to go. But I've heard other things on other people actually wanting the IP for Power Rangers. But I think the biggest problem at the moment for them would be that, like I said, if Hasbro wanted to sell it off today, it would be expensive. Like they would probably ask for more than they bought for it, like maybe 600 mil, because they need to make that money back somehow. And I think them developing this movie with Paramount just kind of helps them get an easy cash grab and maybe hopefully gain another 200 mil, and it won't be a complete loss. But I think Paramount is definitely the favorable winner at the moment. Nothing is in place, nothing's locked. This movie, Paramount is making this movie. That's something that is happening, but it's still Hasbro and Paramount making this movie. Just to be clear, this isn't like an only Paramount's movie. This is Hasbro and Paramount collaborating on this film. But if this film does well, then you can expect the full Paramount buyout. But that's just something that's happening right now. But if anyone wants to buy the brand off Hasbro, they would have to come with a bag, because unless you're Paramount, they're definitely looking to make some money off of this. And if it wasn't for this Power Ranger movie, then they'll be charging Paramount a bag as well.
Yeah, someone just asked a question, and this is good. I don't know if you, I think we all know the answer to this. How can Hasbro be strapped for cash? Their Dino Thunder White Lightning collection figure alone sales should have paid for the franchise Kappa. It's because the toys weren't selling as well as they wanted them to. They were selling, but there were a lot of toys left on shelves, and the show wasn't producing interest that drove toy sales, which is how a lot of big shows got canceled in the mid to early 2000s. Like Green Lantern's a big one. Young Justice was canceled for that very reason. They couldn't drive enough marketability to toy sales. So I think like Power Ranger fans were buying toys, but I don't think anyone outside of the fandom was buying toys. And people have to remember the Power Ranger fandom is a very niche fandom.
And that's actually crazy that you said that, because even after all of that, the toys was one of the most profitable things they've had with Power Rangers. And hearing that it didn't sell well, take what you want with that for the show then.
Yeah.
Like so that's just kind of like, and it's not just Power Rangers too. They struggle with Transformers and G.I. Joe as well. Like Hasbro's having their own problems, and they've been selling off things like the toy license to Playmates, and other things. They're selling off other properties, and they sold off E1 and other stuff. So they're just doing things to stay afloat at the moment. But this film is really Paramount, like really. I'm hearing Hasbro wants to be hands off as possible. So that's just what that is, and Paramount is doing the financing, but it's really just a collaboration just to make money. Like I'm not expecting anything crazy out the gate. Like I'm hearing the budget is a little over 100 mil, as Daniel reported earlier. That's just something that that they're going for, I guess. But I would personally, if it was me, just to get my thoughts on that, I would probably spend less. I probably would spend less on the Power Rangers movie. But I mean, hey, if you got the money, then I guess we'll see what comes of it. But I do want to lower a lot of people's expectations. I'm not expecting this movie to come anytime soon. This is something that will probably be a late 2026, if not early 2027 film. 2026 and 2025 is just too crowded.
I mean, we have Avengers movies coming up. It's crazy.
Like And if they were to fast track to 2026, then all hopes for anything in the future is probably out the window because it won't do well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think 2027 is our best bet, and if so, early 2027. You know,
I mean,
and
but
maybe
listen, it's something. It's better
and
than
maybe
nothing.
Power Rangers and Sonic can maybe team up for promotion. You got Power Rangers in January. Maybe Sonic in April. That could be something for 2027.
I
And they
love
do
that. I
like
mean,
a
as Global calls them, they're the different colored Sonics. So you could have
yeah.
Team
So
Sonic and the Power Rangers do some cross promo.
do some Barbie Oppenheimer
Some
collab.
Barbara, some Ponic, Power
You
Sonic.
Sonic Rangers. You get your little edits
Yeah.
going. You seen the Justice League Sonic edit?
Yes,
You
that's
can do
fire.
something like that. But no, I think just to temper expectations, this is way off. And I honestly, I can't even tell you when to expect an official announcement because I'm hearing that they're trying not to do what they did with the Endless Reboot universe, where they just kind of announced it early and you heard nothing for 6 years. Like, I think I think the strategy they're trying to go, and from what I'm hearing, is they want to wait till they lock down a director, a filming date, and a release date before they announce anything. Like they want to have all of that ready for an announcement to avoid the previous situation. So I heard they're actively looking for directors at the moment, and they're in development, so they're working on a story and what they want to do or whatnot. But yeah, don't expect an announcement though until they figure everything out. And when you do get that announcement, expect it to be like an announcement with when they want the movie to come out and when they'll start filming and where and stuff like that. Kind of like how Voltron did their rollout. They just
Yeah.
dropped everything within 1 week and said, "Listen, this movie's happening. This is where we're filming, and this is our release date. Let's get it." And that's just kind of, I think, the way to go. I think the way to go. But if I had to personally guess, I would say maybe April. I would keep an eye out for maybe CinemaCon, something like that. Who knows? I think that would be the perfect opportunity. But
I mean, that would be a great spot to draw, especially this year with, like that would be a great point at very before Comic-Con. So you get ahead of that news cycle. It's like the perfect spot to kind of drop it before the blockbuster season really, really begins.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe that would be smart.
All right. Is
But
there
we will
anything?
have to be patient. This is something that
Yeah.
I think if you want the best outcome scenario, this is something we'll probably have to catch on the big screen in 2027. So take that timeline for what you want and for when they'll do an announcement. And honestly, even if the announcement was 2026, I mean, I can very well also see that happening just due to the fact that you want to have everything ready for an announcement. But who knows? I wouldn't lose much sleep over it. Just look at it as, you know, there's something on the horizon, or better words for terms, there's a light in the distance, and
Yeah.
we'll just go from there. Um, if it happens or when it happens, it'll happen, and you know, just
Yeah. I just
you
think
know,
it's really good that we have something to look forward to.
yeah, 100%. Great things isn't made overnight either. Like
No.
sometimes they're made in a week, but not never overnight.
No, definitely not. But I just think that's really good to just kind of like know that we're not forgotten. Like as a Power Ranger fan, to know at least someone out there thought
Yeah.
has at least putting some effort to at least get this information to scoopers, to at least put the word out there that something is happening, to at least gauge interest on the property.
Yeah, I think Paramount buying this would probably be more good than harm, if anything. I think Paramount got a good track record with Sonic, Ninja Turtles, um, Transformers as of recently. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I think they have a really good track record and they're known for milking their franchises. So you can maybe expect maybe some more projects right after if this does well. Um, Also, I don't know if you noticed. I think it was Paramount, right, who did Paw Patrol, the movie.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That was very Power Rangers heavy. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know if
Paw
you.
Patrol movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was damn near a parody of Power Rangers, even down to the point with the "I Got the Power" song they were playing in the trailer from
Yeah.
the Mighty Morphin movie. Yeah, so definitely, I think that was kind of them saying like, listen, we want Power Rangers. Like they've been teasing it. So, and I will also state as well, Paramount originally were going to do a Power Rangers film with Entwistle at one point before it was E1.
Yes.
But I think Hasbro just thought it was smarter to do their in-house studios with E1 and, kind of do their own thing. Back when they thought, of a bigger plan for everything. So, I mean, Paramount's always been interested. They've always been like that neighbor that's like, hey, man, if you ever want me to watch your kids, let me know. Like, I got you. You can go out and get some drinks. I'll take care of them. So like they've always been, in the distance, just waiting for the opportunity. So yeah, I mean, and it fits, I will state one thing though. I feel like one thing I will say, it's just it's business, right? At the moment.
Of course.
So with that being said, a lot of this stuff will unfold behind the scenes just due to it being business. And I will do my best to update everyone on things, but you just have to take it as that. I think every day, hoping for an official announcement is not healthy. I think you can be excited and then, take what you want with it and then move on, and then we'll hear from what we hear from it. This is definitely something that I think will be a while before it's announced. It's kind of early, but things are moving fast, so not too much far off. But it's going to be definitely a long process. I'm expecting next year to be news heavy, but I think that's all it'll be, is just news heavy.
And what a way to end 2025.
Yeah,
big
man.
news on the horizon, potentially.
Santa Jen brought some gifts, y'all. I didn't forget about you.
Jin, any last thoughts you want to add before we jump off?
I just say I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the support for a while now. Appreciate y'all supporting Monty. It's a really, really good dude. I love seeing what he's doing over here. He's putting Power Rangers and Sentai on the map, man. Love it. And yeah, man, just keep supporting the brother. He's good. He's good people's. I know him on and off camera, and I say I can verify that.
Same.
He's definitely good people's, man. And yeah,
I
watch
can
Paramount.
verify Jin too.
I need everyone. This is my personal agenda. We need everyone to spam Kara Major. We need Monty to do Kara Major reaction videos, and yeah, so spam it.
Maybe in 2025. Maybe membership streams, member only streams. We'll do Kira Major since Jin asked for it.
Listen, I will gladly join the watch parties if you do.
All right, well, you guys heard it here. Potentially Kira Major for the MontyVerse in 2025.
And Ranger Jin, Poa, you need to watch Shinkenger.
Yeah, maybe we'll just get like a big watch along. We'll do like if I do Samurai, you're coming on. I can't watch Samurai without you on for at least a couple episodes.
Listen, we have to get him on Shinkenger. I think that's the only thing that will cure the Samurai glaze. I feel like
this man over here, dude, he's too brainwashed.
I think we might have the perfect cure for it, and I think that's what it is.
Anyway, make sure you guys all, if you're not already following Jinsakuu over on Twitter with 2 U's, by the way, that's how you know it's him.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm a fun person.
Follow him on Twitter because he drops tons of scoops and he's just a funny guy. And like Jin said, we know each other on and off camera. He's good people. I wouldn't, give him my blessing if I didn't believe in what he was doing. So make sure you guys go follow him. And Nick, you want to jump in to say goodbye or?
Hi, Nikki.
Jin said hi.
Hi.
I'm waving. You can't
Hello,
see me, but I'm waving right now.
He said he's waving. You can't see it, but he's waving.
I trust him.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If we don't stream or drop any videos before the year's over, thank you so much for an amazing 2025. We appreciate all of you so very much. We couldn't be doing this without you. And until next time, guys, stay versed.
Care Major, I'm out.